segment paid for by Davis of Freeze Realtors.
It's time for Happy Tappe Home Tips
I'm so happy about this.
with Luke Tappe of Davis and Freeze Realtors
I'm so happy.
on 97.9 Kick FM.
Well, we are happy to have our guy Luke Tappe in studio of Davis and Freeze Realtors, the real estate expert of the Tri-States on this Monday, July 8th. Thank you so much for being in here, Luke. How are you?
Thanks for having me. Good
Hello,
morning.
hello.
Good morning.
We're excited to have you in here today. And
Excited to be here.
And as always, when we bring you in here, one of the goals is to open up our listeners to this kind of treasure chest of knowledge that you have, and to talk us through what has only over the last couple of years been a really challenging and kind of wild real estate market.
Yeah. For every real estate agent out there, we have all been watching, listening, and just studying very closely these new rules and regulations that are coming down the pipeline. So starting in August, it'll be mid-August. There's some new NAR, the National Association of Realtors, has came out with some new guidelines and some new rules. And part of those rules is to better educate buyers on the value of a real estate agent. When we sit down with sellers, we always kind of go through the spiel and go through what we do for to market their home but buyers, it's not I don't think that they get that. A lot of times they don't get that same kind of just education and
why it's important,
and why it's important, and what we do for them, and they just think we open doors and write contracts and
here are the keys,
and here's the keys, and there's just a lot more that goes into it. So there's going to be some new rules. Any buyer that's going to look at a home come mid-August, you're going to have to enter into a buyer's brokerage agreement with whomever is showing you that home. I cannot stress the importance to the public. Do not sign a long-term buyer's brokerage agreement, because let's just face it, we're all human beings.
Yep.
We all have different personalities,
Sure.
and you might not jive with the person that's, you might go see one or two homes with a real estate agent and just go, you know what? It's just that person's not for me, or I would feel better with someone else, or I just don't want buyers out there all of a sudden, because for us to even open the door, NAR is saying we have to have something signed, a buyer's brokerage agreement that. And
you're working with this realtor.
You're working with this realtor, and the importance of this is you can sign one that is just specific to that address.
Yeah.
You can sign one that is just for a week long. You can sign one that's for 2 weeks long. I just don't want the public out there to start signing these buyer's brokerage agreements.
And they're stuck in it for a year.
They're stuck in it for a year or 6 months with this person that maybe they won't jive with because they just met this person.
Yeah. And it's really important, because these new rules are to protect realtors, but it's also to protect the public and to make sure everything's above board and everyone's open with each other. But also with these new rules, as always we know with government, they say, let's try to make things easier or better for people, but also there's the pitfalls of, like you're saying, you may go out with one showing and you're like, oh, I like this person. And then a week later, they're not responding to your text.
Yep.
They're not sending you any updates.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, wait a minute, I still want to do this. But now you're stuck in this contract with someone. It could become a nightmare.
Exactly.
And so you and your team are training through all these new contracts, through all of these new rules and regulations to make sure you guys know that when you're working on behalf of your new buyers, that it's really important that you have that good relationship, and it should in
100%.
turn force realtors to have a better relationship with their buyers.
Yeah.
But as you know, there's a lot of bad realtors out there.
There really is. And, I hate to say that, but you just, find the people that do the business.
Who live and breathe it.
Who live and breathe it. And, I just can't stress enough that it's just, you want to find I want it to earn your business.
Yeah.
I want you to see that, man, this guy's on it. I text him a minute later. 2 minutes later, I've got a text back.
Yep.
Even if I can't respond to a buyer right away, I will say, hey, out on a showing, I'll get to it.
Yeah.
In about 30 minutes, give me 30 minutes. I'll get right back to you.
Right.
And I do. I just want people to know and find just a great representative, someone who you're going to jive with, and just don't enter into, it's okay to sign an agreement, but just make sure that it's not for long term.
Yeah.
And you can dictate those terms. It's really important to do. And it's one of the reasons why when people have these questions as these new rules come on out, they should come find you and your team at Davis and Fries. And where can they find you, Luke?
Absolutely. We would love to help you guys, give you that honest service that you deserve. Reach out, davisandfries.com. That's our brand new website. Find us on social media all day, every day. Give us a call, 223-9700.
Simple as that. Luke, we appreciate the time. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.